Joe Gerber's prestigious Sunoco Race of Champions was up next at the Pocono International Raceway. It was George Catt and Jan Leedy making up the front row. Ideal weather conditions? Well, not exactly. But when the field went to green, it was Leedy who muscled up a lot of steam on the outside of George Catt. The two would battle right from the start. But further back in the field, things were already getting shuffled up. But it was Jan Leedy in command when suddenly car number 69, Mikey Winitsko, would drop out of the competition with a clutch problem. He was out of the event early. Satch Worley would spin down the back straightaway with car number 4 as Tom Bowles and the rest of the field would somehow manage to scramble by. Then it was Hirschman and the Reg who were battling for second. The Reg would make the bold, aggressive move to the inside to pick up the spot. Leedy was in command. Then, as George Catt was coming back to the front of the field, he'd literally get up on top of Satch Worley. Now it was the Reg in command as Leedy would drop back to second. Mighty Mike Stefanik was looking for only one position on this day, and that was position number 1. Jan Leedy was now setting in the third spot. Jeff Fuller and Tom Baldwin were running fourth and fifth. But it was the Reg in the Race for Life machine for a while until Mighty Mike would take over position number 1. Stefanik was now in command of the event. The Reg was trying to hunt him down when Hirschman would slam the wall hard with car number 1. For the second time, just as Hirschman was moving in on the point championship, misfortune would strike. But the race was now a race out of the pit area. Jeff Fuller would do it on the outside. Mike Stefanik would lose a position or so. But there was still a long way to go in this event. Back down the back straightaway, Jeff Fuller would lead the charge as they would thread the needle to get to the front of the field. But it was Tom Baldwin in command. The Reds would try it on the bottom. No room this time, as he'd lose a couple of spots. Mike McLaughlin and Jan Leedy were now among the top 5 cars. Heavy pit strategy would be the story, and Tom Baldwin, the leader, had suddenly pitted. It was Jamie the Gentleman now in command. The Nestle Crunch machine was the leader when the Reg would cut a tire and literally stop to the outside of the racetrack. This would become the most controversial call for 44 racing. The NASCAR officials would then hold car number 44 in the pit. Larry O'Fiore and the crew were not pleased. Their day and hopes of victory have suddenly ended. It was Mighty Mike Stefanik who would now muster enough steam on the inside to take over position number 1. Once in command, it was Stefanik who swung it out at the front of the field who would secure the impressive Race of Champions victory. It was an $18,000 victory in the mountains of Pocono for Mike Stefanik.